Bob's Movie Review. Gonna tell us what's true. Bob's Movie Review. Got opinions to view.
Hello movie lovers, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and as always I hope you do enjoy the video. Today I'm bringing you my review of Puzzle Box. Now I thought this one looked kind of interesting, had an interesting name, and I thought I'd give it a try. Let me present to you my review. Hey horror fans, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about a new found footage thriller, Puzzle Box, which is available now on digital from Welcome Villain Films. And before we dive in, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to Welcome Villain Films for sending over the screener. So let's talk about Puzzle Box. At first glance, this film has all the makings of a strong setup. Two sisters, a secluded rental house in the middle of nowhere, and one big goal: to help one sister overcome her drug addiction. Sounds like it's got potential, right? Well, buckle up because it's about to take some interesting turns. The movie kicks off with the sisters arriving at this remote house they've rented, only to discover that it's locked and they can't find the key. Now, instead of doing the reasonable thing and driving to the owner's place, they decide to hike there through the woods. And I couldn't help but wonder, why not just drive? You're in the middle of nowhere and no one's watching, and your car's right there. But hey, I guess cardio is always important, even in a horror flick. One of the first things that struck me is that the movie isn't filmed on a typical cell phone like you'd expect from a modern found footage movie. Instead, the sisters are using some sort of handheld camera. And for whatever reason, we hear the camera zooming in and out constantly. Now, I don't know about you, but that sound gave me serious my phone's vibrating vibes the whole time. If you're like me, you might find yourself checking your phone every 5 minutes thinking you missed a call. It's a bit distracting to say the least. Anyway, just when things seem to be settling in for a typical creepy weekend, one of the sisters vanishes out of nowhere. And that's when we meet the film's biggest mystery: a crazed, blood-covered woman who shows up screaming at the top of her lungs. At this point, the movie really starts to speed up, but also it begins to fall apart. The action becomes chaotic, and it's tough to figure out what's going on. Now, speaking of screaming, get ready for a lot of it. This woman does nothing but shriek, which definitely takes away from the scares after a while. And it doesn't help that the pacing makes it hard to keep track of who's where or what exactly is happening. From here, the remaining sister tries to escape, only to discover that the house itself is some kind of inescapable puzzle. Ah, there's your title tie-in. She's trapped in this literal puzzle box. And the movie leans into the psychological horror. But just as fast as her sister disappeared, she suddenly reappears. And from here, things get really confusing. The ending? Well, I won't spoil it, mostly because I'm not entirely sure what happened myself. The sisters seem trapped in the house, and while there's an interesting idea buried in there about being unable to escape, the execution leaves a lot to be desired. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the found footage genre. Look, I love found footage when it's done right, but Puzzle Box didn't quite fit the bill for me. It feels like the genre's best days are behind it, and this movie doesn't do much to breathe new life into it. That being said, there are a few genuinely creepy moments and some decent scares that might get under your skin. But overall, the story just left me scratching my head. At the end of the day, I have to give Puzzle Box a 2 out of 5. There's a good premise here, and I think the filmmakers had some interesting ideas, but it doesn't all come together in a satisfying way. If you're a die-hard fan of found footage or psychological horror, you might find something to enjoy here, but for the rest of us, this one might just leave you puzzled. Thanks again to Welcome Villain Films for the screener. If you've seen Puzzle Box or decided to check it out, let me know what you think in the comments. Did you get it, or are you as lost as I am? Until next time, stay spooky.
I've been wondering Bob's thoughts on the latest blockbuster scenes. Does he say it's call worth seeing, but just some dream. Bob's movie review, gonna tell us what's true. Bob's movie review, got opinions to view.